Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pathfinder Kingmaker Enhanced Edition with me, BringItDon. We are currently down to 12 days and 2 hours to defeat the Stag Lord. Technically a little less because I think you have to defeat him and then make it back to Oleg's trading post. Need to keep that in mind while I'm doing this. So right now what we have to do, we're going to do Tuskgutter's lair, head back to Oleg's, down to the old Sycamore, and I think we have to go back to Oleg's and then back down to fight the Stag Lord. So we're gonna be cutting it really close. I think we can do it with like 3 days left to spare. I hope. We'll see. So here we are. The monster is here, and now I'll tear him apart. Yes, just watch me. And don't interrupt me, Emiri blurts out, as if anticipating being cut off. I speak on when I speak on. She grunts and her eyebrows narrow. She clears her throat. There's a custom where I am from. A boy kills a monster in front of the elders to prove he's a man. The barbarian clears her throat in hesitation. In our tribe, girls don't get no initiation at all. So I arranged my trial myself, like in the song about Kagul the orphan. I downed a cave lion in single combat. Here, see? The scars I got in that battle. Do you know what my elders did after I threw the lion's skin at their feet? They invoked some formality and declared your initiation invalid? I wish. They laughed in my face. They said I scratched my belly myself and hired some man to kill the lion for me, in trade for... Later they agreed my initiation, of course. They had no choice, but... Mary's voice wavers in anger as she spits on the ground. Alright, well, I see. Come on. To battle. Gorham, watch me. With a battle cry, the barbarian charges the boar. I'm going alone, got it? No, you're not. You're gonna get two-shot by it. I'm actually gonna... And I can't make her fall back. So everybody, let's go!
Repent!
To war! Alright, let's see what we got here. Hang back for a second, Tristian. Let's
Serves you right. This won't kill me. Yeah.
Did Tristian hit? Alright, Mary's down. That's okay. You're gonna get into your defensive stance.
I still got it.
Wow. I have no health. Alright, there, down he goes. We finally leveled up. Oh, she died. That's okay. We have a scroll around here somewhere.
What troubles you?
All right, she's back with us. Awesome.
And Lindsay was called forth.
Heal her up a bit because we're gonna make a long march back to Oleg's trading post without stopping. But first, we're gonna level up. Wait, did she not level up?
One shouldn't
Okay, she
brag
did.
about a big sword if they can't carry one.
Alright, so for my main character, I want to do monk, but I'm going to save my monk level for level 5. So I will get another level into fighter, a defensive parry, a 3rd level when a sword lord makes a full... Yeah, sorry, when a sword... What did I read? Yeah, when a sword lord makes a full attack with a dueling sword, he gains a +1 bonus to armor class against melee attacks until the beginning of his next turn. This bonus increases by +1 every 4 levels after 3rd, as you can see here. Boom. Alright, then here, go ahead and get our last point into mobility, last point into perception, and our next point into persuasion. We still need 2 more points into persuasion and 3 into knowledge world. Our abilities, I'm going to go ahead and get Adori Dueling Mastery. It gives you a +2 bonus on initiative checks, a +2 shield bonus on your armor class, as long as you're using a dueling sword in one hand, not using a shield or offhand weapon. And this allows allows your weapon to be treated as a piercing weapon for feats in regards to dueling feats, which, yeah, that's what that does. All right, sorry, I got a little off track there. All right, Valerie here, another level into fighter. Again, she will be going into stalwart defender, which I think is a little lackluster class, but I want to mix it up. She doesn't get that till she gets +7 to attack. So here she gets tower shield training and armor training. Nothing super exciting. Persuasion and knowledge, religion. And here I'm just gonna give her a shield, focus, +1 armor class. Yeah, okay. Alright, level up Lindsay, another level into Bard. Perception, persuasion, use magic device. She doesn't really need persuasion so much. There we go. Then for her, lingering performance is pretty good. I think I'm going to get her spell penetration though. And then I was thinking about sleep. Hideous laughter might be better. She might come in very handy when it comes to a certain boss fight that we're trying to rush towards. Another level into barbarian, she gets danger sense. +1 bonus on reflex saves to avoid traps, and +1 dodge bonus to armor class against attacks by traps. Very specific to traps. Sure, there we go. Now here I'm a little split. I think I'm just going to give her dodge. You gain a +1 dodge bonus to your armor class, a condition that makes you lose your dex bonus to armor class. Also makes you lose the benefits of this feat. I don't know if that's good. Maybe I'll get her. Does she have tough? Or toughness? She does already have toughness. Alright, never mind then. Toughness is good on barbarians. Usually. I think, yeah, dodge would be fine. Unless I want to go in weapon focus. But since she's currently using a great sword instead of her bastard sword, I feel like it's wasted this early on. Alright, let's get that. Let's see, she leveled up as well. Another level into Inquisitor. Perception is her priority. We'll do Lore Religion, Knowledge Arcana. Sure. Alright, so I can go in weapon focus with her if I wanted to. I'm not against that. Yeah, she'll be using a scythe all game. I thought about making her sword and board, because there's a good sword and board build for her that I saw on the internet. I'll get back to back here. That might come in handy. Or precise strike. Doesn't matter. No one else has the feat anyway, so. Alright, so I get cause fear. Just think is what I'm going to get here. Alright, and then Tristian's already level 3. When you find him, he's level 3. Alright, so let's do it once around the area. We'll head back to Oleg's. Want to find traps. Never used that before. Honestly, I don't remember it being in the game. Just rely on my perception to find traps. Then once we get back to Oleg's, we are going to talk to Tristian. So, and if I remember correctly, he has the most to say out of any other companion, which is just one other reason not to like him. It's all about him. I'm also going to get him a crossbow and sell that quarterstaff. So he's not in combat, because he can't take... Actually, he just has 1 less health than I do. My character has no health. Alright. And back to, Oleg's. 2 days and 2 hours. There is a faster way. If I go this way, it should be faster, right? I go from here. 1 day, 1 hour. But I think if I cut right there, it'll be faster. Because remember, I'm just trying to save as much time as I possibly can.
Adventures can wait.
I don't know how much time I actually saved there. We'll look at the journal when we get here. Alright, cool. It still took like 2 days to get there. A little bit less.
I do what I must.
So we have like 10 days, which should be enough time. I think it's about a day to get down to the... Alright, Tuskgutter is dead. You could mount his head on the wall as a trophy. Oleg looks at the bloodstained boar's head with respect, touching its tusk with his finger to test how sharp it is. That's one heck of a beast. I'd love to have a trophy like that, but a deal is a deal. The head goes to the old Benzin, and his bounty goes to you. 400 gold and a masterwork longbow, which I'm going to sell. As well as that. S-stock, short sword. On perception checks in general. Okay, that's actually pretty good. I think we'll hold on to that then. Alright, and we're going to get a light crossbow for Tristian. I'm going to buy myself a masterwork dueling sword. And a masterwork scythe. She doesn't have a masterwork scythe, right? That is a masterwork scythe. Never mind. And is her weapon masterwork? Yes. Okay. Armor-wise, she has banded mail. I might get her the half plate. It's only one more armor class. Full plate is 2 more. For 1500 though. You don't really get better full plate unless they've added more. You don't get good full plate until a little bit later on. He does eventually sell full plate +1, so maybe I'll just wait for that. Alright, let's change this out for this. And Tristian. There you go, bud. Alright, so you're going to actually use the... Oh, you can't use the wand of mage armor. What is your... I'm right past it. It's at 3. Weak sauce. Alright. Does that mean... Hold on. She's the wand of mage armor. I think I'm going to stop wearing armor altogether. No. Because wage armor gives me 4. So did I say wage armor? Mage armor. So it'd still be 1 more armor class than I currently have with mage armor. But we'll wait for now. Won't worry about that. Also, so they did add respecking to the game, and you do it through an Oriole 8 Eyes, but you can't do it until... Or you can't do it on the harder difficulties. So challenging, unfair, and whatever the third one is beyond challenging, you can't respec it in. So, but you can always drop the difficulty down, I guess, and then respec, and then bump it back up. All right, so what are we at now? All right, still 10 days. We're all fully rested. Let's go talk to Tristian. But first, I'll talk to Jod. I think we have to talk to him about the Temple of the Elk.
How may I serve you?
Jod nods warmly. I found the Temple of the Elk and killed the beasts there.
Erastu be praised, you finally returned, my good friend. Tristian told me how you helped him at the Temple of the Elk. Thank you for heeding my request. My heart is calm and filled with confidence that I've followed the will of my God. I would like to reward your bravery. I possess no treasure, but please take this as a token of appreciation.
Some very specific scrolls. I appreciate
As
that.
far as I know, your next target looks to be the Stag Lord himself. With the Temple of the Elk cleansed of evil, the fog surrounding us should disperse to reveal the path to the brute's lair. Of course, magic so powerful is unlikely to disappear all at once. Bide your time. Follow up on other concerns while you wait. I will gladly aid you on your noble quest. Erastil himself foresaw our meeting.
Jod bows piously. Do you understand the true meaning of your visions now?
I trust in their truth. These visions, they were the voice of Erastil himself. Quiet but clear. Before all this happened, I believed Erastil had turned his back to me. But now, I see clearly. He has shown me divine mercy, for he has led me to you and invited me to aid in a fellow priest's deliverance. Lady Sarenrae and Erastil walk the paths of the gods hand in hand, and so must their servants as well. Tristian is undoubtedly still very young, and youth is a time of naivete and confusion. But I see kindness and strength of spirit in him, traits indispensable to a priest. I sense that all that's transpired thus far is only the beginning, and the future promises great things for Tristian and for you. This is why Erastil led me to the Temple of the Elk. Day and night I pray for you and for my young friend. May the Stag God lead you down the true path. As you wish.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Tristian? Tristian smiles as you approach. Greetings. How may this humble chosen of the great Sarenrae help you? Tell me about yourself. About myself? I wouldn't know where to begin. Tristian pauses for a moment in thought. You know my name, my faith. I follow Sarenrae, and I have traveled from the Padishah Empire of Kalesh to here. What else do you want to know? Forgive me, but your manner and appearance don't strike me as Kaleshite. Tristian smiles softly. You have nothing to apologize for. Truly, I received my name and appearance from my parents, who had come to Kalesh from afar. I never knew them, for the fate had separated us when I was young. So I grew up in Kalesh, raised by the followers of Sarenrae. My home is where my heart is, within the temples of the great goddess, among the wise and generous men that took upon themselves the care of a child that was so unlike them. I learned mercy and patience at an early age, and it is these virtues that have made me the man I am today. Do you enjoy traveling? Tristian nods, his eyes light up. Oh yes, no library and no archive, however large, would have ever allowed me to learn as much of the world as I have in my journeys. It was only outside the temple walls I realized every living being is a world unto themselves, a world where many contradictions and passions coexist. Each realm leaves its mark on the lives that live there. Only by visiting it, by breathing the same air, walking the same soil, can you understand its people, what drives them, what frightens them, their dreams, and how they honor their gods. Doesn't being outside the temple make you uncomfortable? Tristian shakes his head. There are many ways to honor one's god, Don Victus. It is true shrines play a role in the lives of many of the faithful, but even more find other ways to serve Sarenrae. The healing light values good deeds above all else. I cannot stand by and watch evil claim others. Tristian thinks for a moment, then raises an eyebrow. Perhaps that is another reason why I chose to go on my pilgrimage, leaving behind the temples of Kalesh. Yeah, values good deeds above all else. That's right, Tristian. Remember that, little punk. Tristian touches his chest. My faith is in my heart and in my hands. Millions honor Sarenrae in her temples, and my soul is filled with joy when I think of her devotion to the goddess. Nevertheless, my path is a different one. Do you know where you're going next? No, my thoughts were far from it, for my mission here is not yet done. Tristian stares at you in surprise. Why do you ask? Do you wish me to leave your lands? To the contrary, I hope you'll stay with me for as long as you can. The thought of you leaving is not a welcome one. I'm going to say this. Of course not. You're my comrade in arms. I trust you completely. Now let's say this, because I'm a sucker for story-driven characters, even if I don't like them. Alright, Tristian smiles awkwardly. You speak as if sharing your heart's affection. If I am dear to you as a comrade in arms, then I too value our friendship. If there is more to it, however, Tristian goes silent, shaking his head sadly. No, there is nothing more to it, buddy. Tristian lowers his head. Forgive me if my stories have bored you. I am not accustomed to speaking about myself, and, in truth, take little enjoyment in it. What can you tell me of Sarenrae? Sarenrae is the goddess of temperance and patience. Solar Flame Goddess teaches us compassion for the weary and mercy to those who go astray. What would you like to know of her? I'd like to hear about the history of your faith. There is much to tell, but I'm afraid I would miss the mark, and I fear I would bore you. Is there something specific you wish to know? How did Sarenrae come to be? Sarenrae is one of Golarion's eldest deities. Once she was an angel that had gathered the armies of her celestial allies behind her, the battle in which she showed her valor and decided the fate of a whole world, and in her victory, she was rewarded with divinity. In the sacred text, Sarenrae is shown as a beautiful bronze-skinned maiden, her hair dancing flame. Tristian smiles slightly. But her appearance is not what matters. It is the grace she brings with her touch, healing and salvation. Well, tell me about this battle you mentioned. What was the act of valor of Sarenrae? Her greatest moment of glory is her battle against the monstrous Rovagug, who threatened to destroy Golarion. Sarenrae delivered the strike that staggered the horrendous creature and allowed her allies to shackle it. Once the rough beast was captured, the goddess split the earth and the gods threw the behemoth into the depths. Once it was done, the goddess sealed the pit and commanded her faithful to stay away from the scar that was left on the land. Tristian falls silent for a few moments. Alas, mortal beings are imperfect. Not even the most faithful among us can always follow their deity's commandments, even when such commandments are meant to save the world and their followers. I, for one, pray the goddess is never again as furious as she was with Hormuz. You've mentioned Hormuz. What happened to it? Tristian sighs. An error of faith. Perhaps a lesson. But it speaks of the danger when one listens to mortal words and stops listening to their faith. Sarenrae forbade her followers from coming near the place of Rovagug's imprisonment, but some of her priesthood misread her will and began to preach of a sacred place where the mightiest of temples dedicated to the goddess were to be constructed. The people listened to these sermons and went forth to the lands touched by Sarenrae's scimitar, which I used to say Schmitter when I was younger, just so you guys know. On the scar that sealed the well, they founded Hormuz, a holy city that was to become the greatest monument to Sarenrae. Unsurprisingly, after the city was built, faithful from all Golarion traveled there to worship. Sarenrae sent omens and visions, urging her followers to leave this dangerous place filled with the dark will of the shackled Rovagug. But in their pride, the people misinterpreted or ignored her signs altogether, for they had already come under Rovagug's influence. Finally, the goddess sent her herald to the city, but the fanatics killed him. Realizing the people had turned from her, the enraged goddess smote Hormuz, raising it from the face of Golarion with a single strike of her scimitar. Tristian shakes his head. Today it is called the Pit of Hormuz, a well of pain and suffering. Well, tell me about the Pit of Hormuz. Tristian shakes his head. It is a great crevasse in eastern Khazmaron. The lands surrounding it are dead, soaked in poison. The Pit of Hormuz seems bottomless, until someone dares to gaze into its depths. All have dared to tell of a strange, distant glow, a glow that followed them in their dreams ever since. Throughout all of history, the Pit of Hormuz has spawned creatures, hideous beasts of overwhelming power and driven only by a single desire, to destroy everything they see. Some were defeated, such as the nightmarish Ulanat, whose carapace to this day towers above the capital of Osirian. Others proved too strong to be defeated by mortal hands. Tristian frowns. The most terrible of them all was the Tarask, and the Armageddon engine, who to this day lies dormant deep beneath Avestan. Have wars been waged in Sarenrae's name? Tristian sighs. Alas, yes. Terrible battles were once fought between the followers of Nethys, Norgorber, and Sarenrae in the lands now known as Rahadum. To my shame, I must admit that this conflict was started by my brothers and sisters. They came to a foreign land to make way for the goddess's light with sword and fire. That calamity became known as the Oath Wars, a catastrophe that led the inheritors of Rahadum to deny all gods, banning all faiths from their lands. Alas, the mortal vessel is imperfect, and even a pure faith may be distorted by blind ambition. Tristian goes silent for a moment. A great suffering may occur in its name. What are the teachings of Sarenrae? A solar flame goddess is the light of salvation, even to those who have been forsaken by the other gods. She teaches us mercy and forgiveness, for as long as they may be useful to a soul's salvation. You make it sound like the followers of Sarenrae will try to find good, even in a bandit with a knife to their throat. Do not mistake compassion for weakness, Don Victus. One hand of Sarenrae is shrouded in healing light, the other holds a scimitar. Following their goddess, the priests learn to wield this weapon starting in childhood, and they do not hesitate to use it if a dispute cannot be settled peacefully. Sarenrae preaches mercy, yet her compassion is not infinite. We give a second chance to all who ask. But if they reject it, if they persist in their sins, they will face the goddess's retribution. By the way, Sarenrae is one of my favorite gods in the game. Iomedae is my favorite, but Sarenrae's up there. Are there any undeserving of mercy? Tristian blindly gazes past you into the distance for several moments. When he speaks again, his voice is quiet, reflective, as if echoing his thoughts. Undeserving of mercy, would even Sarenrae herself find the compassion to? Tristian shudders as if awakening from a trance. Forgive me, your words. They are not easy ones to reconcile, and even priests such as I, we debate them to this day. What is the point at which a soul is irredeemable? Or is it a failing of the priests themselves? Yet, Tristian, why don't you go meditate on that? These are difficult questions you ask, Don Victus. Questions wise men have debated for centuries. Does a being that has been tainted by evil to its very roots, that rejects its own salvation, still deserve compassion? Can those compelled to do evil by others still seek forgiveness? There's no easy answers on these issues among Sarenrae's followers. As for me, I believe that every soul carries the potential for goodness within. No matter the crime, the guilty may find forgiveness if they repent and cast off the evil that led to the deed. I believe this with all my heart, Don Victus. Yeah, you know what? I do agree. I like this idea, even though following through with it demands a lot of spiritual strength. It does, yet I think you are equal to the task, Don Victus. No, I am certain of it. And one needn't worship Sarenrae to practice mercy. All are capable of it. What are your duties as a follower of Sarenrae? My goddess strives to see the best, even in the dark gods. She never abandons the hope of their redemption. The priests of Sarenrae follow her teachings, akin to the healing light herself, who emanates warmth and heeds the call of those in need. We aid the suffering in body and spirit throughout Golarion. The priests of Sarenrae are willing to help anyone, no matter the faith of the one in need. Each plea must be heard. Every misfortune deserves compassion. Be it a peasant seeking a blessing for the harvest, or a murderer seeking repentance the night before their execution. Sometimes the mercy of Solar Flame Goddess is the last thing that can save one's soul from ruin. We have no right to withhold it from the truly repentant. Alright. How is Sarenrae worshipped? Many worship Solar Flame Goddess in her temples. Some make the pilgrimage to the Everlight Oasis. But even those who do not serve the goddess directly rarely shun the festivities dedicated to her. The Sunrot Festival, for one. What are the temples of Sarenrae like? Sarenrae's shrines are often open to the sky and to the goddess, life-bringing sunlight. Goddess's life-bringing sunlight. Her light fills the temple and shrouds the parish in warmth and grants its blessing to all in need. In Kalesh, crowds gather during the services so that all may feel the blessing of the goddess. The most ingenious devices are constructed by some of the faithful to please the goddess. I have seen a temple of Sarenrae which housed a complicated array of mirrors, all to direct the light of the sun to the altar. Well, tell me of the Everlight Oasis. I've never been there, but the stories say that it is a wondrous place, sacred to Sarenrae's faithful. The oasis is located in Zelshabar, which lies in Kazmaron. Pilgrims from throughout Golarion travel there, seeking the goddess's blessing. According to legend, the waters of the Everlight Oasis are imbued with healing properties. Anyone who bathes in them shall be cured of any ailment. Tristian smiles in thought. Just imagine, a place where people from all around the world come to gather to worship. What stories they must share. What is the Sunrot Festival? The Sunrot Festival takes place on the day of the summer solstice, when the prayers of her flock can reach Sarenrae the easiest. On this day, Kalesh blooms with color in each corner of the Padishah Empire. The people praise their goddess by dancing and singing, setting off fireworks and flying kites. I hope this beautiful custom shall one day reach your lands as well, Don Victus. The more I hear, the more it seems you're... No, I'm not going to say that. What brought you to these lands? I've heard rumors. They say these lands are cursed, and the curses are growing stronger, as if something is granting them power. I could not ignore such rumors. What curses are you talking about? Tristian cocks his head to the side in wonder. Do you not see? Every word uttered in the heat of an argument turns into a prophecy here, just waiting to fulfill itself. If it were only for the people, the land itself is dealing with curses so ancient their origins are impossible to trace. Take the abandoned temple of Aristil where we met. What happened to it? What force compelled the priests to leave such a magnificent temple behind to the whims of nature? Will we ever know? I myself was nearly slain by beasts. Fortunately, you came along, following Jod, and saved me. I owe you a great debt. You've come a great distance indeed. Tristian laughs heartily. When you look at it that way, then yes. But please, do not think that I came all the way from Kalesh because of mere curiosity. I was wandering long before that. It is a custom of our faith. The farther our paths take us, the more people we may help. Why did Jod see you in his premonition? Sarenrae sees all the good gods and goddesses as her allies. Many have fought alongside the goddess against the menace of Rovagug, Aristil among them. By offering my prayer to Sarenrae, I let her know of my misfortune in the Temple of the Elk. The merciful goddess did not ignore my plea. But whom could she have asked for aid than Aristil, whose faith is strong in these lands? Aristil had sent Jod a sign, and you came just in time to rescue me. Tristian sighs. To tell the truth, I was certain my journey was at an end, and those creatures were to be the death of me. You have spent much time here. What do you think the future holds for these lands? These are cruel lands. As I came here, I bore witness to much pain and suffering, but I've seen equal kindness among those seeking to protect themselves and their loved ones. The people of the Stolen Lands are resolute and true to themselves. I admire their strength. Alas, I do not know yet what powers the curses that flourish in this land, but I swear I will not leave until we have the answer and the means to cleanse them. You must forgive me for not swearing on Sarenrae's name, but as of late I have troubled the goddess too much as it is, and it would better serve her through action, not prayer. You call yourself the Chosen of Sarenrae. What did you mean by that? Sorry, that was a mere jest. Other acolytes at my temple used to tease me with that title. This should tell you how pious and devoted I was compared to them. Yet my faith is strong. Sarenrae knows this and protects me in times of great peril. If something ever threatens my life, by her divine powers I am transported to a safe location. Alright, well I should go.
I'm there.
Alright, let's No, okay.
In due time.
Let's I want to see if Amiri has anything to say after Tuskgutter. I don't think that she does. Nope, okay. Alright, I'm gonna check out the potions real quick. We're probably gonna need some of these. I have 10 rations, 6. We need rations for the upcoming dungeon. So 2. All right.
I'm there.
And again, we'll be going to yeah, we shouldn't need any more potions. We should be fine there. I think that's all I needed to do there. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. Because again, timing is tight here. We're we're pushing our luck a little bit. 22 hours, so less than a day. And I'm assuming like 2 hours to get there, approximately. Probably get there a little faster if we go this way. See, that was 22 hours to get there. What's the timing here? 18. So we saved 4 hours. 9 days, 13 hours. Oh boy. Alright, next episode we go to the Old Sycamore. We gotta knock this out in just within a couple of days. And which you can do. Probably do it within a day, honestly. Oh man. But we are cutting it close. The Old Sycamore is the first real dungeon you come across, the first big dungeon. so it's going to take a little while. We'll probably spend 3 to 4 episodes there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next episode, which will have more action, so look forward to that.